here and welcome back to the channel. Tonight is a dedicated expose video, investigative journalism on the bad behaviour of other YouTubers in my segment, such as Joshua Bardwell, Chris Rosser and Ciati FPV, who have all... Yeah, let's leave YouTuber beef there, I think. Anyways, good afternoon, good evening, hello. Tonight, we are not going to be talking about honey. We are not going to be talking about why YouTubers should have made an expose video telling him about something that everyone already knew. Instead, we're going to talk about FPV. Now, I hope you've all had a good week. It's been a shite week here. I'm annoyed, I'm bloody frustrated. Yesterday was a lovely day here, however, I was tied up. I couldn't go out flying, I couldn't do anything. I haven't flown for ages. Plans today were all clear, woke up this morning, it's in with rain, windy as hell. Why? No one wants me to fly. I am trying to finish a Kiss Ultra video, and it's just impossible. And I'll be honest, I think I'm just going to publish a part 1 and a part 2. But what I have been able to do today is finish, I think, all of my backlog, other than the Kiss Ultra video. I have finished a video on a slider, which none of you will care about, but we're going to talk about that. We will talk, there's a video done about finally the battery done on this one, how to bypass the battery on this one. We have a video on race mode, which I've virtually finished, and it's not like JB's video, for anyone who's seen JB's, with Evan Turner. Number one, can that kid fly or what? And I don't use the word kid lightly. Compared to my grumpy old age, he's a kid. And Evan, no disrespect meant, my friend, you're a young lad in comparison. But my God, can that boy fly? And what a very interesting video that was. But my race mode video isn't like that one. My race mode video is the technical deep dive, and that's basically finished, where we get into the latency, we get into the RF behavior. The truth is, it'll be the video you need to understand all of the stuff to be able to fly around other pilots, how it works, what it does, RF things you need to know about, and stuff like that. Unsubscribing from anyone who is surprised that 50 versus 500 hertz is no. That Did you see that? He knew it was off. Now, don't get me wrong, that might have been due to the filters as well, because remember, I think his tiny trainer builds are set up for the filtering on Express ELRS 500 hertz. He's probably using K500, which is 1000 hertz, but twice. But still, my God, can that boy fly? And look, it was a really interesting video, and... Look, my race mode video is the technical side. That was the sort of front end. And look, from a race mode perspective, DJI have done really good work. It's not perfect, but it basically almost is. But it's very interesting to see Evan play it. Look, when it comes to latency, let's not kid ourselves. It's not even in the same ballpark. And I have showed these numbers before, but... it's not even funny. HD0 on 90 mode gets to a full frame before DJI have even shown a pixel. So you got to take into account. But it is incredibly interesting. And you know what? That was a fantastic video. Genuinely one of the best videos I've seen for a while from anyone. One I enjoyed thoroughly. And I'm really pleased to see Evan do so well. And actually, there's an interesting point I want to talk about this, and that again later on, is FPV chargers, because we are getting absolutely ripped off by manufacturers selling us shite gear. And what's quite interesting is I specifically have had a number of issues with Toolkit RC chargers, to the point where I've basically stopped reviewing them. I was actually offered one to review last week, and I turned it down, or at least I just didn't reply, because I just don't feel comfortable recommending something that I've had so many problems with. But what is also interesting is 533's branded chargers are made by Toolkit RC, and there is no way in hell they're going to be selling chargers that are failing all of the time. So there is something to talk about here, but also the absolute shit show that is chargers in FPV, because we are getting a real bad rap. We're also going to talk about my controversial video of trying to stitch DJI up showing a broken camera. That was my fault, not DJI's apparently. And we'll talk about O4 and the issues, because, look, O4 has released, but it's got some problems. Nothing unfixable, but we are really now starting to see the quirks and the issues and the problems come to light. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. And we will talk about anything else that comes up. Someone asked, will DJI ever do audio? I don't believe they ever will. Sorry, I think there's no chance. Just not going to happen on that one. Oh, and I'll just follow up a little bit as well on the video I put out for the Avatar repeater, because it's quite interesting. No one's really interested in it, clearly, because it's not really got many views. I thought it was a proof of concept, at least. Now, as always, we will answer any questions along the way as well, if you have them. A big thank you to everyone who have tuned in. Thank you, Joseph, for the antennas. And also, we've got some news on the O4 antennas as well, because they're not left-hand circular polarized, it seems. Okay, so to start, O4 and problems and issues. So, it is absolutely apparent that people are having issues. I'm not sure I would call it early production issues. What we're seeing is a lot of people getting dead ear units or ear units where there's no camera connection. It's not showing video, 0 megabits a second like I showed in my video. We know the camera cable is weak. Someone just posted here 2 O4 ear units with issues, IMU errors. I have said from the start this thing's going to be fragile, which it's turning out to be the case. I have a serious concern over this light camera, and yes, look, let me get to the overhead. Look, I put a quick video out yesterday, and it was meant to be a quick video. It wasn't meant to be a long one, and I did forget to mention that I had taken the glue off this, but that isn't the point. The point I am making is that this whole setup, even if the glue is in place, is extremely fragile. And that was the point that I was making, not that, oh, I removed the glue and caused it to get damaged. This is just an extreme weak point on the design. Yes, I've taken it on and off a few times, but it should not have been enough to damage the connector. What's actually happened is the pins have broke where they soldered to the PCB. I think DJI have really made a mistake here. Honestly, I think they've got this very wrong. We know what they've done. The truth is, this camera module is just been picked up and taken out of the Neo. It's just been picked up and just it's the Neo module that they've basically put together a quick sort of module board to swap it over so it works. And it's weak, it's fragile, it's going to cause problems. I don't know if you remove the glue is going to stress things right with soft or hard. It's a hard type glue, but I've only actually taken it on and off a few times, but there's been no shear force on it. But look, even if I have broke it, the truth is you are going to have problems with this, so be careful. And that was what the video was about. It's not, oh my god, DJI have loads of problems, this is always going to fail. It's you need to be careful on this. I would personally add a bit more glue to it, but remember, anything you do could affect your warranty. So that's going to be a problem. 2x O4 lights, both exhibiting massive vibrations after processing with gyro flow, solved by making your own silicone mount camera. Yeah, there's no filtering on the gyros on these. You're going to need to soft mount if you want the best possible performance. Lots of people complaining about vibration in footage on both cameras, but the light especially. But really, look, the point of this was, it's fragile, you're going to need to be careful. I don't think DJI have got this quite right. I think this needed to be done better, if I'm honest. Could you replace it for the Neo one? In theory, yes. And I need to order one in and test it. I do believe the modules have started to appear. So if we look on AliExpress, I have sort of seen, so full cameras are here, but camera module. Someone had said to me, aha. So 49. I don't know, has anyone seen any out and out modules? Is it just this? That's what we've got so far. Is it in stock? But how much is the camera module from DJI? DJI.com. Store. DJI O4 camera. No, that's not what I want, DJI. The O4 Pro camera module. Have they got the standard one yet? They've got the Pro. And we've got this. So this is absolutely swappable. We now know it's the same module, because if we go to iFixit, DJI Neo iFixit, the iFixit teardown, they actually show the module there, look. So we now know it's the same module, but they're using a different cable. But it is absolutely looking like the same module in every way. So it definitely looks like it is the same. I am wondering if we're going to see cheaper versions of this appear. At the moment, that's all I've seen. So that's the O3 camera chip. DJI O4 camera module. Should we try that to see if anything comes up? No, we're not seeing much yet. It's a matter of time before it does turn up, I think. It definitely will happen in the end. But look, $49 is the cheapest, but we don't even know if that works yet. I expect Flywoo will probably push something out sooner than later. They usually do. I do know the camera cables are starting to be available now. So Axis Flying have a camera cable, as does iFlight, I believe. I don't know, are they individual? But I know Axis Flying. So if we go away. O4. Knowing Axis Flying, they'll have something mad, like a completely different camera cable. iFlight. Let's have a look what iFlight have. Pre-order only. There we go. Video MIPI cable. Yeah, they are rated. The MIPI connections aren't rated for a lot of connection cycles. Yeah. I don't know if DJI will change the design. We'll have to wait and see what the warranty issue is like. I know Axis Flying would definitely having a cable as well, but I haven't seen the listing for it yet. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, it was under here, wasn't it? Sorry. Digital coaxial connector. There you go. 13cm one. But yeah, look, we haven't seen modules yet. But look, if I could get a connector, I'd swap it. They probably will add more glue, or it's a catch-22, because if we wanted them to do something better, they'd have to make a custom camera module, which would be bigger. It's a compromise. Oh, check my DMs in Discord. Joseph said, thank you for the super chat, Joseph, by the way. I really appreciate the $20. That is fantastic. Also, the $5 from Duan on the MIPI connectors around 20 catch cycles. Yes, they absolutely have limitations. Someone has found... Joseph has found the Avata 2 modules for the Pro. So we've got the Pro there. The Pro chips. So the Pro module is turning up. The question is, will it work properly? Still seems weird how they have an adapter board on both ends. There isn't an adapter on the air unit side. It's only the camera side. There isn't an adapter board on the air unit. It's on both ends. It's both camera modules. What DJI have done... What's actually really interesting when you look at this module, look, for the Avata 2, it looks like they even used the board on the Avata 2. iFlight selling a MIPI cable for $19.99, that's madness. Yes, it's not cheap. Not cheap at all. It is a big shame that you can't swap the camera modules over as well. That's a big shame. And look, I do say this in the race mode video. O4 Lite is great, but it's compromised because it's not got the lowest latency. That's a real shame that O4 Lite is, you know, from a race perspective, it's not the right unit. It's crazy. But look, there are a lot of quirky problems. I will also say, I've been doing all of my RF testing the last week and all of the background stuff, so I fully understand O4. And I'll tell you now, it is buggy as hell, even on the Goggles 3. There are bugs everywhere. There are times where you will turn on race mode and it won't give you manual channel selection. There are times where you turn on race mode that will only give you channels 4 and 5 as an option. There are times where you go into the camera menu and under... what option is it? It's one of the options. It has something else written there instead of what it should have there. It is buggy as hell on all sets of goggles. Megabytes are buggy as fuck. Yeah, it is. Everything about O4 is relate the ham file bugginess. It's buggy as hell everywhere. It is not clean and tidy like O3 was. It's usable. It's not that you can't use it. It's not really that any of these bugs cause too many problems. You can get round them. But it is buggy as hell. That I can tell you. Goggles 3 with light sometimes doesn't record on drone. Auto records manual. Sometimes refuses to record on drone side. Yeah, it's got quirks with... Yes, Michael, I saw your email. Michael had a weird one where he couldn't get OSD on Goggles 2 until he'd connected it to a set of Goggles 3. Look, from a flying it perspective, it's fine. There's no issues with the... Overall, the link stability seems fine, although there has been a limited number of reports of blackouts. Not many, but there has been one or two. But there's always reports like that. Software-wise, this crap is all over the place. Honestly, it is genuinely buggy as hell. So, we just got to wait and see. We just got to wait and see. We've also got the weirdness that people are getting, like the DVR is speeding up and slowing down. The live feed, especially used with Cosmostreamer, is speeding up and slowing down. People are posting videos of it going fast, slow, and then it's like catching up. Now, this is probably a frame rate mismatch issue, and then it's having to catch up. But there are solid reports of DVR recording as well having this phenomenon. Just catching down the chat. Why my drone lack fluidity on your? It doesn't feel smooth. Happening mid-flight, since it doesn't fly smooth. It kind of feels like it's camera angle, but it doesn't. Bad FC or motor. Probably gyro. I would start with the flight controller and try a different gyro. Or at least I would look at the logs and see if there's any crazy noise building up. And see if you're getting any resonance building up. Has anyone tried rotating the MIPI cable 90 degrees on both cameras? 90 degrees. Someone just said, my O4 showed aircraft name but no voltages. Disarm summary showed no data. Are you aware of any way to share the FPV from Goggles 3 into a TV? I'm aware Goggles 3 DJI O4 Pro and then HDMI TV, but I'm looking at other ways. Yes, Cosmostreamer. Cosmostreamer works absolutely fine with DJI O4. In fact, I have my setup here on the bench. Cosmostreamer works absolutely fine. You can build your own Cosmostreamer with a Raspberry Pi 4. You've got to buy their license, but it's a great piece of software. But Cosmostreamer works absolutely fine. I was literally using it an hour ago. I got a video coming on Cosmostreamer as well. Yeah, if you want to get HDMI output, this is by far the best way of doing it compared to anything else. If for those who haven't seen it, the features that are on Cosmostreamer, let me just drop the voltage down to 5 volts on this supply. There we go. And power this on. Cosmostreamer just works really nicely on DJI. It really, really does. Let me just grab that and plug into there, because we will need that. Just check that's definitely at 5 volts. Yes, it is, because I don't want to put in any more to my Pi than 5 volts. Otherwise, we will have the smoke of the magical kind. And whilst the smoke of the magical kind can be interesting, it is not preferred. You power on the goggles. What's Cosmostreamer? So for those who don't know, right, Cosmostreamer Right. So for those who don't know, Cosmostreamer is software stroke a device. They do both, okay? So you can buy a device from them. So if I go to the products, Cosmostreamer for DJI Goggles 3, N3, Integra, Goggles 2, or you got it for V2 and V1, or you got it for a couple of other DJI products. But if you go to Goggles 3 and N3, it allows you to stream out. So you got option number 1 is to buy their hardware box. That costs $295 with a license ready to go. That's all good to go. But you can also build it from a Raspberry Pi 4B. And you've got to pay $150 for the software license. And it's up and running. So you can buy your own Raspberry Pi. Install it. It is not... Look, having used it, it is not an absurd price. Considering the features you get for this, I have completely changed my opinion on what this costs. I actually think it's not a bad deal at all, considering what you get. Considering how much DJI want, but considering the feature set and what it can do, I actually think it's not bad. Look, software isn't free. Yes, I would agree it's targeted at a production environment. Definitely. But let me just connect on my network a second so we can connect into it rather than on Wi-Fi, because I'm streaming. I don't want to use the Wi-Fi function. What you then do is go to Cosmostreamer.local once it's on your network. Let me just plug in. So you're looking at the network streaming side of it. Plug in. Boom. Camera's upside down. So this, you're looking here at the stream. I can also HDMI out. I'm just not doing it, right? If I want to go to HDMI out, I would go to that one, which is probably not going to work because I plugged it in after I powered on. Let's see, does it want to play ball? If I'd have plugged it in before I powered up, it would have been fine. But OBS is a complete... considering all of the features, I don't think $150 is that much. Considering you get all of the... I'm just trying to see if I can get HDMI to work a minute, because I plugged in my capture card after having OBS on. Come on. OBS is always a sod. They recommend Pi 4B. Flip that over. Try it one more time. If not, I'll... Ooh, that was a good sign. Let's see if it kicks. Come on. Doesn't want to behave. OBS is such a bugger. Honestly. Come on. No, okay, we'll have to stick with the web streamed version, which is there. But look, this is... If I rebooted OBS, it would pick it up. It's just I don't want to reboot OBS. The features this software has is crazy, right? You can live stream out of it, but when you get into the ins and outs, here's something that is incredibly cool. Look at this, right? You can control the live view latency and options from here. So if I just go into the menu, right, and show you this, watch this. This is fantastic. So just... Oh, I'm in race mode at the moment. Let me turn race mode off. 1 second. I forgot I'm in race mode. Let me turn race mode off. So, now race mode is off. Look, we're in 1080p 100, right? Just watch. If I change it here to 2.7K 30 and accept that, it will actually change the live view settings on the system for you. It actually has all that. But the features in this, right, when you get into the features of this software, so you've got options for secondary cameras, you got your own custom splash screen and logos, including video options. If you want background audio, background videos, you've got your Wi-Fi and Ethernet functionality, you've got your display options. So you've got video output, main display, secondary display, DSI, SPI, OSD, if you want to enable the built-in OSD, and touchscreen. You've got audio and video settings. So, for instance, you've got audio. You've then got the bitrate options available. You've got the screen resolutions available. You've got the frame rate options available. You've got the streaming options, so you can stream out of it in UDP RAW, RTP, RTSP, RTMP, SRT, MPEG-TS, NDI, NDI-HX, and all of these other options. Remember, I'm streaming here, not HDMI. HDMI will have much less latency. You've got your storage, built-in DVR, camera overlay. You've got your RC controls, because you can connect controllers to this. You can even control servos from it. You can control gimbals. There is a huge amount of stuff. And whilst there might not be a need for this for regular folk, it's all built into the software standard. Now, this is the web streaming you're seeing here. This isn't the HDMI out. So the web streaming is slower. No question. I can't go to HDMI because my capture card does not want to connect because it's an asshole. And it does this every single time. Sell a reduced version for 50. I guess their option is sell a reduced version for 50 or don't. It is still cheaper than any other option on the market. Because anyone else, you can just use a phone with the Fly app. For 99% of people, you can just use a phone with a Fly app. If you want HDMI, it's this. It's not really, you know, I don't really see the problem in the licensing. It's a $200 solution. It'll cost you $200 to get up and running. How important is HDMI out? If you're not willing to spend $200, I guess you don't really need it. You know, it's how much do you want to spend? If I'm at an RC event, can I Wi-Fi to the Cosmostreamer? No, you've got to hardwire to the Cosmostreamer. You know, there are lots of other things that you could do. You could absolutely connect it to an iPhone and then screen share the iPhone via an Apple TV to a TV. There are lots of ways you can do this. You know, there's not restriction. A really simple way would just be or to an Android phone and cast it to a Fire Stick. There's lots and lots of options. They all involve cost. And in the end, what's easier or cheaper? You know, if you use an Android phone and then stream to the Android phone and then cast that to a Fire Stick or a Google Android Stick, TV, whatever, you can do that. You know, there's lots of options. It's what you want to do is really comes down. It's what you don't have. Is sort of free options, and DJI have given you the free option. I find it hard to sort of argue. Yeah, I can't get the HDMI to work. Fucking HD60S. These capture cards are shite. Just really frustrating about these capture cards. What's really annoying is if I open up Elgato 4K camera utility, it'll probably freaking work. Remind me later. Ah, there we go. Straight away. The Elgato camera utility, look, absolutely brought it in instantly. So if I go to that, there's the Elgato camera utility. So look, the latency is much lower now. You're still going through software, not directly into OBS, but it's much better on HDMI. And you can turn on and off camera view if you want it in the goggles. You know, it's your option. What's annoying is, see, this is fine. OBS, on the other hand, if I go to OBS, no. I am not going to work for you today. I am OBS, and I have decided that I am not going to work. So, look, Cosmostreamer is an option. It's not a free option, but it is an option. I don't think 150... Yes, you can stream without OSD. You just turn it off in the camera view settings. The OSD is based on the DJI camera view settings. So just like you can turn off... just like you can turn off in the settings, you can... That's what you get on the view. So it's mirroring the DJI view, basically. So DJI instead of DJI. Apparently I say DJI because I say it fast. OBS just does not like things you plug in halfway through. It really doesn't. So yeah, look, HDMI, there's lots of options. I don't think they gave a license to them, Collat. I think they've reworked it. I think they've backwards worked it, is what I think they've done. I don't think there's any support from DJI here. I think they've managed to get it working their own way. But yeah, look, you got options. Connect it to your phone, stream it. The simplest is if you've got an Apple TV. If you own an Apple TV, stream it to your phone, set up a Wi-Fi network, and stream from one to the other. But then you need a router, a hub. You then need this. You then need that. You know, could they make a version for $50 that just gave you HDMI output and nothing else? I guess so. Would they sell any more of them? The risk with that is that you're then eating into the people who want to buy the bigger licenses. You could also install a Fly app on an Android Google TV over the Wi-Fi from Goggles 3. Yeah, you could do some really quirky stuff if you did Android. DJI needs to make Goggles 4 with HDMI out. Yeah, they won't do it. I don't think DJI will ever have HDMI out. I just don't think they see the need. I think the cost, for the amount of people that want it, the cost doesn't cover the benefit. I just don't think there are truly enough people that it... I think the user base for HDMI is probably less than 1%. Everyone else views it on their smartphone. That's the genuine issue. It's like audio. Lots of people sort of in the FPV community shout about audio. But the truth is, it's probably less than 1%. Am I going to review the Flip? Unless I get one in my hands, no, I have no intention of buying the Flip. So, it's not on my radar to buy. So, with O4, buggy as hell. A few issues. A lot of hardware issues as well. People getting dead units. It'll settle down. The product is good. If you haven't seen JB's video, it's definitely worth checking out that racing video. I think it'll be interesting to see how people get on with it. Look, is it going to replace HD Zero? No. Come on. It's not even in a country ballpark the same. But, and they don't have like the event VRX that HD Zero has, and there's lots of things it doesn't have. But I think you've also not to play down race mode. I think it's a big step forward. But it isn't, because in really, they're just giving us back what they took away. In the end, they're just... The truth is with race mode, they're giving us back what they took away in 03. Race mode basically has the same latency as the original FPV system in low latency mode. It basically has the same RF behavior as the original system, just a new channel allocation. They basically have given us back what they took away on the V1. Square and round, will digital ever be free? No, digital digital will never be free. Could it be cheaper? Potentially. Do I think open source will make digital cheaper? I actually don't. I don't really think open source will make it that cheaper. You know, the BOM cost is a challenge, and BOM is going to go up. And that's a hard one to battle. It really is. But, yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. That's all we can do. Now I need Cosmostreamer. Yeah, look, it's cheaper than using the DJI's $1,000 remote controller. So can I just use old Vista kit? Yeah, it's the same latency. Race mode is no faster. What I can tell you as well is today I've done a bunch of testing on race mode with regards to penetration performance and RF performance. Now, I do these tests in a strict test environment where I have the ear unit fixed and I go wandering with the goggles. And I can tell you that race mode definitely has a little bit worse performance than normal mode, but it is really minor, and I mean really, really minor. Overall, from a penetration perspective, everything I've seen so far it's basically the same. It's not the same, it's a little bit lower, but it's close enough to being the same. It's crazy. It's like a little bit lower performance. It breaks up a little bit more. Tiny bit more. And that's sitting on like 0 megabits a second. Whereas normal mode at like 1 or 0 megabits a second is fine. It's sort of okay, but stuttering, it starts to stutter a lot. What race mode will have is the image quality that you won't have on the V2 system. What they've given you back is the latency, is what they've given you back. The image quality on O4 will be better. But Goggles 2 with O4, should I upgrade to Goggles 3? Not if you're happy with it. If you don't need race mode, then does it recover faster in race mode? It's about the same as normal. It's very fast recovery in both. It's very fast recovery in both. It's almost instant in my tests today. It's you know, I was testing where I would turn my head to the side and lose signal, and as soon as I came back, it was like that. The recovery is very fast on O4. What you got to sort of understand is you're also jumping from LCDs to OLEDs. The image delivery on O4 is far better than the image delivery on the Goggles 2 as well. Is Goggles 2 and low bitrate issue fixed? No, there's been no fixes. There's no firmware updates. There is no fixes for O4 at this time. I don't even know, did DJI reply on the forum? Look, there is also a very real possibility that they will never fix the ham mode issues, because remember, ham mode is not an official mode. The ham is a bit of a hack. Asking DJI to fix it is a bit like, well, did DJI respond? Let me look. No, they didn't. They may never, ever fix that. Just beware. Just beware. Does the Goggles 3 have more dynamic range in the Goggles view than Goggles 2? The displays are basically the same. It's got a smaller field of view. And they are on holiday, yes. Clark, you've got to be careful what you wish for. So that basically means C, Goggles 2 users should actually buy Goggles 3. Potentially, but I'm not ready. I can't say that today. You know, I don't know. They might fix it. They might not. You know, we're talking about a mode that we're not really meant to have. So it's like saying, I've hacked my car's ECU to make it go faster, but I found a bug as a result of doing it. VW, can you fix it? It's like, maybe not. I'm waiting for the weather to clear up so I can actually get some proper flight time on O4, because I've just had so limited. The weather, anyone who lives near me, Wales, England, the weather has been shite, isn't it? You know, it's just been crazy. So, look, that's DJI. That's where we're at. Look, take your time. Don't rush. Remember the video I put out before this launched. There's plenty of time on this. Wait a little bit. Okay, so I just got a couple of other things I want to address before we move on to the next subject. Bambu Labs. So, look, I've promoted Bambu Labs printers on this channel and I will continue to do so. There's been a lot of hoo-ha around this new firmware. I'm waiting to see where all of this lands before really making a decision on my thoughts. Okay, so a lot of people have sort of looked. Bambu are making some changes to the firmware, which I don't like. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think it's unnecessary. I think they've also caused a lot of noise. But I also don't see a problem for 99% of users. Now, if you're using Panda Touch or anything like that, yes, you might have a problem. Okay, that's the truth. If you're just using your printer normally and you're using Bambu Slicer, pretty much bugger all will change. Once Orca Slicer gets updated, pretty much bugger all will change. Here's the truth. I basically use my printers as they are every day. I don't use Orca Slicer. I use Bambu Slicer. There's nothing I've had trouble with. I could update this to tomorrow and I wouldn't see an issue. Joseph's absolutely right. There are core users who are using the sort of, I'm going to use the word API, but it's not really. Orca Slicer said they won't update to support it. That's a bit stupid, if I'm honest. Think of the users, don't think of the company. If Bambu do it and Orca choose not to update, that's just nonsense. That's more open source BS, not, you know, because Bambu don't care about Orca Slicer. So it's not going to harm Bambu. They don't care. So that's just stupid. Look, Bambu will do what they will do. Just like DJI will do what they will do. There are times where you shout and scream about things. There are times where you don't. Do I like the change? Not really. Does it affect me? Not really. So that's you know, they're a closed source printer. They've never been open source. So any of this talk in people's heads about they shouldn't be allowed to do this or that, you bought a closed source printer from the start. There's always a risk with any closed source product that they're going to make a change you don't like. That's a reality. What they absolutely should not do is force upgrade. Okay? Users should be able to stay as they are. Absolutely fine. They shouldn't be forced to move. But also, if Bambu want to make the changes, so be it. You know, they're not locking... You know, people are saying so much stupid stuff. This could be the path for them locking down filaments. How? How is it any different to what we have today? They could just release a firmware update tomorrow that locks out other filaments. Absolute bullshit is being spread around half of this. I understand what they're doing, and I completely understand why. I don't necessarily like the reasons. But there is no question a load of third-party companies have started to communicate with the Bambu's printers through the open ports, and that leaves potential for problems. If someone does something dull and it burns your house down, you're going after Bambu, not that person who does something dull. So I understand what they're doing. And here's the truth. Here is my final take on the Bambu thing. They are today basically in the same position as DJI was when they introduced NFCs. DJI introduced NFCs because some idiot landed a Phantom on the White House lawn and people were flying them all over the place. And in the end, DJI had to do something because they were the most popular. It's not always a case of saying, but others haven't done this. When you become the de facto industry leader that everyone is suddenly making things for, everyone's hacking, everyone's making software to communicate with it, everyone's doing this, everyone's doing that, you suddenly end up in a position where you're at risk because someone is doing something with your product. Now, I don't like the way they're doing this. I think it could have been done better. But I also understand the reasoning behind it. If you look at how many pieces of software are being pushed around, how many companies are communicating with their printers, there's a lot of issues that come when you become the number one. And you end up in a difficult position then. And I think that's where Bambu are today. I think the communication was a mess. Yeah, look, look, the whole thing has been handled very badly. That's for sure. I also think it also shows something. Look, Bambu is run by Dr. Turbo, as someone who's, for those of us who've been around a long time, is owns and run by Dr. Turbo. Most of the posts that you're seeing from Bambu, I believe, are by Dr. T. You're dealing with the man himself, and the man might be flawed at times. The man might get things wrong at times, but you're still dealing with the man. And don't overwish for dealing with PR or dealing with companies. You know, I think you're getting reaction. I think you're getting panic. And that's why this has all felt a little bit rushed and nasty. And I think you're getting anger. And I think they're pissed off at someone who's done something. And I think genuinely, and I don't know the truth, my money is Bambu are peed off with someone who's done something and they've reacted by going, right, we're going to lock all of this down. And we might not know what that someone has done. That's the problem. It could be something they don't want to talk about because it's caused a big problem and they don't want the bad press. For all we know, someone's printer's already been hacked and burnt someone's house down. We just don't know. They're not going to sit there and tell you. So there could be more to this than we understand. And the behavior might be driven by that as well. So... But look, for me, I think it changes. Like, I don't review printers for print farms. I don't review printers for complex environments. I review printers as a general user. And the code, yeah, look, it's been hacked. The keys have already been thinged. I don't know what the frick will happen now. I think they've panicked on something, and this looks messy and it looks nasty, but I think they've panicked, and that's what's caused this. The printers are absolutely phenomenal. If people don't want to support them, that's great. Look, I'm still tempted to order in a Prusa Mark IV to try, but I'll be honest, they're the best printers I've ever used. Both of those two. They're freaking, those three are phenomenal. Yeah, none of this bothers me. Bamboo hacker burnt house down. Yeah, I think there's something behind this. So, that's it with Bambu. There was something else. Do I go for the O4 Lite with Goggles 3 or Goggles N3? I would not buy the Goggles N3. If you got the money, go with the Goggles 3. I would just get the 3. The N3 is a compromised product. Oh, someone mentioned about RadioMaster. Two things. So, someone asked about the GX12 getting EU support. I don't know what's happening with that. Look, EU support on ExpressRS devices is always a bit complex because you've got to make sure it's got the right firmware and things like that. I don't know what's happening with the GX12. I was not aware that they weren't going to ship an EU version when I made my review. So, it's hard for me to comment on that. I do have some frustration right now, and I haven't spoke to RadioMaster about this, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do have frustration in the time it's taking for reviews and then the products to come out. I love RadioMaster. I think they're a great brand. I think this needs to change. And if I'm not included in any future reviews for saying this publicly, then so be it. But I am tired now because this is the third launch this has happened on, where we've done a video to an embargo date, and then it's been like a month and a half, 2 months later, the product releases. That's bullshit, if I'm honest, and that needs to change. Or you move the freaking embargo date to when it's available. Because here's the frustration. I'm running around like an absolute asshole trying to get a video finished in time for a product that isn't going to release for a period. And look, the products are phenomenal. But this element, it happened with the Nomad, and it's happened with the GX12, and I think it happened with the Pocket as well. I can't remember. And this isn't specific to RadioMaster. Review embargoes should be within a very short period of time to release. I think a couple of weeks is okay. 1 to 2 weeks is okay. Beyond that is not really okay. That's my stand. The GX12, obviously people have said, I wasn't aware there wasn't going to be a C version soon. Now, either I've missed this, or, yeah, see, it's only got FCC region at the moment. So, I don't know about this. I missed this as part of my review. So I'm going to have to apologize for this. So I am sorry because I missed this as part of the review. Someone's also asked, there's been a price increase on all the receivers. I have heard. I haven't looked, but I have heard. So the XR1 is $11.99, so that's the same as it was. XR2, $9.99, so that's fine. XR3, $29. Has that gone up? I can't remember. An XR4 is gone up to $34.99. So there has been some price. I'd need to go and look at my video to see, unfortunately. Look, prices are going to shift. At the end of the day, that's going to happen. Like, you can't really... the price is what the price is. It might be that the demand has meant, or the component cost has gone up. Ah, here we go. So Wes, that's a point, Wes. I forgot about the chipset. Semtech themselves actually made firmware updates to the LR1121 firmware to support ELRS project doing LBT. Will take some time for the build test to be through. So, chipset. Because remember, the older radios are using a different chipset, which is already certified. There we go. From the man himself. XR4 was 20 quid. Someone said before. So, yeah, look, price hikes. I can't. It is what it is. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. What it is. It's gone up $15 then, is it? Okay. Perhaps it was priced wrong. Here's the truth. Perhaps the pricing was wrong. It's a nice receiver for the money, but there are other receivers in that price band as well. So. It's a big price hike. Yeah, I don't know what else is out there at that sort of money. That seems more realistic considering it's a dual band, cross band receiver. But yeah, so look, that's the RadioMaster. Yeah, I do wonder if the price was wrong. But look, I missed on the LBT thing. I completely missed that, so that's my apologies. And I will stick something as a comment in the video and look forward to one of my peers making a video about how much inaccurate information that I release on this channel. Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about is the Caddx repeater quickly. The video went out this week for anyone who hasn't seen it. It is up on the channel. It's worth a look if you're interested in seeing it. I go through all of the testing on it. I show you the latency testing as well. It's actually a good video, if I'm honest. It is a good video. It has a lot of information in, but it isn't a product for everyone, obviously. So if I go to the desktop there and the relay, mute the microphone. Oh, I got to watch an advert for my own channel. No, I haven't fixed the O4 socket yet. I don't have one. But we talk about the latency numbers in here as well. It's a long video, but there's a lot of interest in. Apparently, someone complained that I was hiding something in this video because I was flying past the little bushes, apparently, but I didn't fly behind it. God, it was windy that day. You can see the wind is tunneling down, so as I took off in the Go film, it just went backwards. But apparently, I was hiding the Caddx behavior because I didn't fly over there. Now, let me just remind people something. The frickin' repeater has directional antennas that are pointing here. If I go over here, I'm behind the directional antennas. It is not going to work. There is a reason why I did that. You will see the repeater is there. I can't fly behind it because it's got directional antennas. But yeah, look, we talk about that. We talk about the latency and the latency tests as well. There is a penalty for the latency on it. it's adding about 13 milliseconds of latency in my test. That's best case scenario. So it's not too bad. Not too bad. It's a product that does... Yeah, that's from... Remember, though, that's the recorded DVR on this side. And, it does block up a little bit. Caddx always looks awful. It's... In movement, it was definitely... I don't know what this is even at the moment as well. Auto 720p. That needs to go to 1080p enhanced bitrate. There we go. What lovely bog. Yeah, any moment I was waiting. Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. You know, you can't complain. But what's quite impressive here is, look, you know the relay's rigging at this point, because I'm flying solo. There's all stone and rock behind that. There is a point where I fly very low up. Very low. And that low is enough that it can only be... That was me testing the latency. What it was like. But look, it's an interesting product. Wales has been so windy, so fucking wet, so windy, so wet. I just can't do anything. I cannot do anything at the moment. I just can't. I can't fly. Anytime the day the weather's good is the day I can't fly, and the day I'm off, it's raining, or it's windy, or it's raining and windy. It's just horrific. It's just horrific at the moment. It's so the Caddx relay, interesting product. Does what it says on the tin. For Caddx, that's a bit of a miracle, as someone said earlier. And that's my bit of rant about why I hate winter. I thought you guys get great weather over there, not here. Yes. Now, FPV chargers, and this is a subject I really want to do a video on, actually. We seem to have a real poor situation with chargers and FPV. And I actually created a thread on my Discord for this, and there's so many comments about bad chargers blowing up and this. You know, I've worked with Toolkit RC, who makes some nice chargers, although I have some reliable chargers from Toolkit. I have a couple that have been fine, but I have had a couple that have just blown themselves to pieces. I do know Toolkit RC have just released a new charger, and this was the one they mentioned. It's on their website, so there should be no reason I can't talk about this, because it's on their website. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I thought it was the M6AC. Or it might have been the Q6AC. Why is it playing music? Why is it playing music? I don't know if it's this one. M6AC. Looks interesting. But they also have the Q6AC as well. Now, what is interesting is, as I said at the start, 533 have their own charger, which is branded 533, which is the Q6AC, which is this one here. Now, JB did speak about this. This appears to be very reliable, apparently, but I've not tested it. Now, I don't know if there is technically anything different between the 533 version and the standard one. But the fact that this seems to be fairly reliable, and it looks like it must be the standard Q6AC, which is this. But what I don't know is how good it is. It's got some nice features: smartphone charging, DC, USB, power delivery. It looks a really nice charger. You got dual outputs, XT6030. I really like that on a charger. I'll be honest, this charger looks very nice. Very, very nice inside. Now in the UK it's a bit harder because you don't have 533 easy to get in the UK. So what are they? $200 to get that in the UK. Hota. Just funny. I talked about Hota on this channel and they reached out to me and they said they were going to send me a charger. Never arrived. I also spoke to the chargers, that company that I use, which is, what is it? Okay, the name's gone off the top of my head. 2 seconds. Oh, ISDT. I also spoke to ISDT, and they said, we'll send you a couple of chargers. They never turned up. The only one that'll actually send me chargers is Toolkit RC, and they usually blow up. But we definitely seem to have I've not had a single problem with my ISDTs. It does appear to have been as well on these, not these, but on the Toolkit RCs, it's the AC side. When I realised I was not JB. It's funny. Do Hota have a website? Did we manage to find the Hota website before? Can't seem to see it. The MD6 is great field charging from Toolkit RC. Is RC hobby product. See if we can find it. There we go. They were meant to send me chargers, but they never arrived. These look nice. Some of these chargers look really, really nice. They really do. Ethics D6 is the best for FPV. Who's that made by, though? The F6 is a really nice charger. D6 down there, look. Hoter. 3 M6Ds and 1 Q6AC, very much like them, no problem so far. Yeah, you know, it definitely seems like the D6 Pro... It definitely seems like we have a bit of a hole in the market. It really does seem like there's a bit of a hole in the market. So what's the difference between the D6 and the D6 Pro? Can anyone tell me before I dig into the spec? Does anyone know what the difference between the D6 and the D6 Pro is? What are you getting in a Pro? Oh, is it you don't get AC on the D6, do you? Okay. I can't tell because it's not in English. The wireless charger. Oh, it looks like it's got the wireless charger as well. Yeah, DC. Is it? 200 watt PSU built in. There you go. So look, so yeah, DC. I'm guessing that's input. Why is this page not translating? And then if we go down to the D6 Pro, I'm actually tempted. Ah, yeah, there you go. So if we go 1 to 15 amp times 2, DC 324 volt. Yeah, AC 200 watt. Okay. Okay, USB 5. Yeah, pretty much the same. Okay, so you're getting a power supply for it. Okay. Looks a very similar size. There must be a lot of empty space on that. But that's only a 2-port charger, isn't it? So, that's not even a 4-port charger. I like the idea of testing the 4-porters. I think 4-port is what a lot of people want to go with now. So what have Hoter got in the 4-port territory? Do they even have anything in the 4-port territory? Because everything I'm looking at is 2-port. F6. So the F6 is a 4-porter, is it? Yeah, 2 on either side. And the F6 Plus, which has the PSU. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So you got 4-channel on the F6 and the F6 Plus. There you go. But here's really weird. Does anyone here own an F6 Plus? 2 exports are better than 4 ports. Does anyone here have this charger? That looks awfully tall off the deck. How the hell do you get on with the batteries sticking up? Do you just rest them up next to it? Is that... And then we got ISDT. We really do... Oh, ISDT. We really do seem to have a shortage of good chargers. I'll be honest, I do like the look of this Q6AC. I actually really do like the look of this Q6AC. So, here's an interesting. What additional functions does the M6 have over the... So, what are the additional functions that this has? The M6AC... So, they call it multifunction. What are the additional? So, power supply, measurement of resistance and signal, signal output, ESC test, drone charger. Compared to the Q6AC, Let's just have a look in the tab. Q6 AC, push buttons, someone said. So you got scroll wheels versus push buttons. Dual input mode, quad channels, 1000 watts of power, wireless charge inside, XT36 compatible. I'm guessing it doesn't have the additional signal testing crap, is what I'm going to believe. I'm guessing. They're not mentioning it. Yeah. I only buy with an external supply. Yeah, from a review perspective, though, I think I would review with a built-in supply. Because I think a lot of people are very interested in chargers that do everything they need to do. M6 AC has much lower AC power as well in it. The Q6, okay. Yeah, that's a nice charger. So really, if I was trying to review 3 chargers, it would be the Q6 AC, it would be the F6 Plus, so the Q6 F6 Plus, and what have we got from ISDT these days that even gets near to this? What have ISDT got? Probably the P10, the 20. But these are only 2 ports, aren't they? Yeah. Hobby. What else? What else have they got? Dual. They don't seem to have quad chargers, do they? No, what I'm thinking to do is ordering in all 3. What I'm thinking of doing is ordering in all 3 and seeing which blows up first. They don't have a 4-way charger then, do they? Okay. So you're talking K2? Uh, 500 watt AC, DC 500 watt, K1 or K2? Probably the K2, isn't it? Quad chargers are too pricey if it blows is a big hit. K1. Probably the K2 then. I'll get up to a big resistance and see what lasts. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. Max loading a few and seeing what it does and how long they last. Because there's definitely a gap. And look, the problem is, even if you test them, they last. You're only testing a single sample. That's the problem with it. You're only testing a single sample. Get the 533 version and see if there's a difference in QC. I cannot imagine for 1 minute there's a difference in QC. How much is the 533 version, by the way? I didn't look. 533 199. So you're not even paying any more for it. So I can't imagine it's any different, if I'm honest. We definitely have a problem in chargers. Also, obviously, you've got Sky RC, but I don't think Sky RC do anything big and mains, do they? Does Sky RC do anything big and mains? Sky RC. I can't remember. I actually like my little B6 Neo. Go away. Fuck off. Adverts. Oh, they do. Do they do? Oh, they clearly do. Oh, look at that. You got the T1. See, that's a great looking charger. I remember that. That's a great looking charger. I remember seeing the T1000 before, and I'd forgotten it was them, to be honest. Come on, get past the bloody nonsense. Come on, get past this. Look at this crap. That is a great looking charger. But it's only 2-port. That's the only downside. Up 9 seems too good to be true. What's the Up 9? Who's that by? See, charger animation arms race. Yeah, it's like Q200 Neo. Ooh, let's get back off this because I can't move on their website. Oh, yes, there is. There's a 4-channel Q200 Neo. Oh, my God. Fuck's sake. Let the thrilling begin. It's as bad as fucking renders. 40% smaller. Okay. AC and DC. Okay. Okay. So, how much do all of these cost? So how much have I got to spend on chargers? Who we got in the UK? Who has these? I can't see your FPV listed, so I'm going to have to go unmanned tech. So add to basket, unmanned tech. We're then talking F6 Plus. F6 Plus. Come on. M6AC. Let's do the M6AC. Alright, how much is the No, I didn't want the Q. I wanted the Q6. Q6 AC. There. Right. We want F6 Plus. Hobby RC. Oh, Hobby RC to the rescue. We want ISDT K2 in stock. I think that's the right one, isn't it? How many ports has this got? I think that's only 2-port. Q200 Neo. Is they got that? Q200 Neo. Yes. So we got 3 in the basket. So that's 400 quid's worth of charges. Chargers. P10. That's a dual charger, the P10. That's DC as well. So which was the ISDT? Still dual. So basically, ISDT smack out at dual chargers. So if you wanted one, Ultra Power P9U, apparently. P9U. Does that exist? No. So what is this? Oh, that's another one. Oh, that's cheap. They're all available from elsewhere. God, this is going to take some doing. Definitely seems too good to be true. It's on Ben. Ben sells it, so it can't be bad if it's on 3DXR. DC, it's only DC input though, isn't it? I'll have to have a look. We definitely need to have a look at chargers. Definitely need to have a look at chargers because it's getting out of control. Right, guys. We are going to wrap this one up here tonight. It's been a quiet week. The videos are coming this week. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone. Race Mode. Coming video probably maybe tomorrow or the day after. A lot of little videos this week. So look after yourselves. Stay safe. Thank you for spending. Don't forget to check out the wiki, Patreon, everything else. And I will speak to you soon.